Still sitting in a truck seat that's older than your favorite pair of work boots? Your back has been filing complaints for years. If your seat is worn out, sagging, or just plain uncomfortable, it's time for an upgrade. Head on over to seatspecialist.com. Check out their selection of quality replacement seats built to keep you comfortable mile after mile. And don't forget to use promo code TR104U to save 10% on your order. Seatspecialist.com, because a better ride starts with a better seat.
Welcome to another episode of That's Delivered, the podcast where we explore the vital role of trucking and logistics. I'm your host, Ray, and today we have a special guest joining us. Our guest today is Kat Guerrero, a remarkable woman in the Twin Cities area who is making waves in the trucking industry. And Kat works with the truck supplier Kenworth right here locally. And she's passionate about introducing younger generation to the world of truck driving. With a nationwide shortage of truck drivers projected to double by 2030, uh, creative solutions are essential to spark the interest in this vital career. Kat has authored a wonderful children's book in a series called Blue Collar Kids, with her first book titled Trucks Bring Everything. This series is designed to introduce toddlers to the truck driving career, uh, aiming to inspire the next generation from a very young age. So, in this episode, we're going to discuss Kat's journey in the trucking industry, what's inspired her to write these children's books, and what her hopes are for the younger generation that will take away from this. And we'll also delve into the challenges and rewards of the trucking career, providing a realistic view of those considering this path. So, how are you doing today, Kat?
I'm doing very well. Thanks, Ray.
So glad to have you on the show, and got a chance to speak with you a little bit earlier. And I think your story is remarkable. We're excited to have you here and taking this time out of your day. I know you're busy, and to be on the podcast and let the listeners know, hey, it's okay. The trucking industry is here to stay. And yeah, so that's great. Just wanted to go through, and kind of get to know you, get your background about your experience in the industry. Can you tell us about your background and how you got started in the trucking industry?
Sure. Actually, accidentally fell into the transportation industry. My first job out of high school. I was a gas station attendant at the gas station my dad worked at, and became shift manager. Was there in the morning early when my future boss came in to get gas. He knew I was there early, had a good attitude, was on time, and social. So he asked me what I thought about getting into, coming to his business and being a secretary. I said, well, that'd be great if I just worked Monday through Friday, and here's what I'd need to make in order to make that work. And next thing you know, I am working in the reefer industry in the Port of Oakland in California, and had no idea it even existed at the time. So opened my eyes to the supply chain and how we get refrigerated goods across the sea, and really interesting, interesting career choice.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're doing great. I'm glad you came over. So,
Thank you.
yeah. So, what is your career journey like in trucking? Has it been a difficult one, challenges, anything you can think of?
Being a woman, starting in 1986 in the industry, predominantly men, it was very challenging. Of course, I was a secretary at the time, which was more like a service writer at that point because it was taking care of invoicing and whatnot. But as I wanted to learn more and grow more in my role, it was hard to be taken seriously by the men around me. So I had to, it's not uncommon in my background is having to kind of prove myself, do what I could to learn everything, to become well versed, and to show people that I was a hard worker and I knew what I was doing and what I was talking about. So,
Nice.
challenge accepted.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. You're a go-getter. Like I said,
Yeah.
same here. So
right?
what's the most rewarding aspects of your job that right there, you're right there at Kenworth?
Um, I think that I like a lot of it is that I like to share that I have all these years of experience and people who are new to the business or new to our company may not know my experience and kind of sharing with them that I've been around the block and I do know a thing or two. I like to feel accepted and to definitely make a difference where I can. And especially, this book is just another creative example of how I can share that with the world.
Okay. And you touched on being a woman in the industry, and that's difficulties there. Have you seen any improvements over time? Any rewards that way that you've seen?
Absolutely. It it's come so far since then. I was actually a service manager back in the day and had a gentleman who wouldn't even look at me when I told him I was a service manager. He was asking the parts person at the counter questions, and I was basically answering to the side of his face because I was the one who had the answers. So there was that. And now I actually work for a woman owned business, and uh, they're very fair about promoting women who have the skill set. They aren't looking at you as a gender or anything else. They're looking at you have the qualifications. So very rewarding that we have come so far.
Wow, nice. What a success to celebrate. That's nice. Thank you for sharing that. So
Sure.
what's inspired the book for you to write Trucks, Brains, Everything? I mean, that's a cool title because it says it all, 3 words.
It it's right there, yeah. Um, Honestly, the shortages, well, there's a lot to it. There's my inspiration. I was in a Next Leader program in the Minnesota Trucking Association, and we read a book by John C. Maxwell called Change Your World. And I've always been a doer, not a, let's just talk about this, talk it to death. I'm someone who likes to take action. And the book sort of set that. It was almost like giving permission that you can do wherever you have influence, you can do something about the situation. And it kind of started me down that chain of events that got me thinking, well, I really, there's a huge shortage of truckers, there's a huge shortage of qualified diesel technicians. How do I get the word out there? And then I know people who are already doing it in high school level and getting driver simulators into classrooms and that kind of thing. But what about younger? Because I thought about my history and not knowing anything about the supply chain. And why aren't we presenting both the knowledge to kids and also the career options? Because they're lucrative careers. They're nothing to sneeze at. Um, and it also saves kids who aren't necessarily interested in college from going down the normal 4-year college path and creating a ton of debt that will then take them years to pay off.
Wow. Yeah. And I think that's great because even I have a daughter and I know there's types of careers that are in those fields and the trades. And it's great that it's not nothing to be ashamed of. You can be empowered. You can feel that, hey, I can open my mind to something new. And it wasn't really talked about so much in the earlier days of school, which is okay. But yet, I think they should, possibly grow from that and expand.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing a great job with that by making that awareness available. Um, yeah. So, what are some of the significant benefits for young people considering a career in trucking?
Oh, so many things. Travel, obviously. If they wanted to stay in their neighborhood, they could in a truck, delivering locally. If they wanted to see the entire country, they could drive, back and forth as a long haul trucker. Um, and they can see all of the places that there are around our country to see. And they could choose their, if they're an owner operator, obviously, they can choose to work when they want to work. They could bring a sibling or a spouse, a pet along with them, and they can see the world at their own pace.
Well, I mean, you're making strides. So this book, how will it impact younger readers? I know you have someone that reads your book that you mentioned to me earlier. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, one of my cousins bought the book, and he has a young son who loves trucks. He just adores them. And he started reading the book to his son, and now his son demands it every night before bedtime to read the book. And the paperback actually has 3 stories in it, so he sometimes has to limit him to just one story a night. And he says he's read it over 80 times now. So it's kind of funny. He says it's a blessing and a curse because he loves it, but he has to read it every single night.
Right? Wow. Yeah, that's that double effect. You get to learn about
Right,
the trucks, but you also get to help with reading, which is,
right.
I mean, man, you can't put a price on being an effective reader, getting your thought through comprehension. I mean, that learning that at a young age,
Exactly.
monumental. Um,
My son, the same thing. I would read to him at night, and he had one story in particular that he loved, and he knew it word for word, and that started him on his reading path really young. He just repeated it, and I would point at the words as he said them. So it's so powerful, you know.
Wow. And just a little bit about me too. I had growing up, I used to see the big trucks and things like that. But yeah, school was never my strong suit academically and reading. So I had to catch up as I got older. So getting that head start is great. Many people had told me that, you're away from home all the time. And you mentioned, that there's jobs that are close to home, but I didn't really know about those. Have you seen over the years that where someone new coming into trucking doesn't have to go as such long distances? Have you seen a big change with that? Maybe kind of set their mind at ease?
Yeah, again, there's so many options. And so many different kinds of trucks and truck bodies. You could get into delivering gas locally. You could just go from a distribution point to the end user or another warehouse locally here and be home at night to have dinner and spend the evening with your family. So yeah, there's just so many options if you're not looking to be on the road more. There's just so many options and so many needed drivers, so
Or you could,
qualified drivers.
or you could get, hey, help out right where you're at with Kenworth and being
Exactly.
at the selling point.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think that's cool too. I mean, man, you get to see the nice shiny trucks at their best right before they go out
Yeah,
to get dirty.
I love it. We always have new trucks in the showroom and in the lot, and I like to see the new paint jobs they come out with and
I'd love
the
for
sleepers.
does young ones get to take a tour, or can they?
We do. We participate in the Touch a Truck events around the cities, and we even on Father's Day have a truck show. It's a historical truck show in our lot, so they always encourage kids to come. They've even made coloring books to give out to kids as they come up and look at the trucks and let them climb around and touch them.
Wow, man, that's exciting. Because I got a niece who is a young one, and you know, she can't wait to get next to a truck, and she thinks about it. So, I'm excited to share this book with her.
I love it.
Yeah, so June 16th, Father's Day.
Yep. Yep.
Wow, so that's coming
Yep.
up.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah,
just this weekend.
wow, how about that? And
Yeah,
it's open to the public, right?
it is. Yep.
How nice. So yeah, I'm glad we got that on here. We can put the word out and hopefully get more people to attend with their young ones and uh, think your book will be available, or for them kind of you can't really double that probably?
I can't guarantee that. I know that my company was talking about buying some, but I don't think they have yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Right, exactly.
So that's cool. So now, what are some of the significant things that we should look at for benefits for a trucking career when it comes to traveling and adventure? Do you know any stories about that? Any opportunities you want to share?
Well, I would like to say it's open to everyone. That drivers are needed and they're looking to make things better for everyone across the country. And my company owner advocates in politics for more truck stops, well lit truck stops for women to feel safe. And likes to get involved very, very deeply in that and in the community. So I think that's a good thing, is making it more inviting and safe feeling for people. um, but yeah, other than that, I'm not so sure. I know that there's so many fleets hiring and training, and people can get their educations right on the job. Um, learn to be a driver and get their CDL just for signing on. So there's lots of opportunities, and they're always looking to train more.
So, what advice would you give parents, for the young ones? I know everyone would love to have a doctor in the family.
Right? Yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah. So, what advice
Uh,
would you give parents and educators on encouraging kids to explore careers in trucking?
I would say play to the kids' strengths and desires. Think of what they want, and don't imprint what you want them to be, because you could end up with a miserable adult at that point. There's got to be some sort of happiness in the work we do, or you're just a miserable individual.
Right.
So
So,
I
yes.
would say, yeah, play to their strengths, and let them know what's available so that they're excited about their future.
Nice. So nicely said. So how can they showcase the positive aspects of blue collar careers for parents?
Um, well, I think it's been common to frown upon blue collar careers, and it's so unfounded because there's so many careers that we just need. I mean, I'm focusing right now on trucking, obviously, but what would someone do without a plumber, to fix their issue, or HVAC to fix their AC in the summer? Um, it's maybe they're a well-educated person who has a white collar career. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with that, but that it takes all kinds to make the world go around,
Mm,
and you know shouldn't frown upon it, for sure.
nice. Very nice. I like that. So, I guess also, so you seen any typical pay scales in the industry that have paid off? Any changes there? Can you share what you've seen so far?
So trucking, I'm not completely up to date with. I know that I've seen from 60,000 to over 100,000, depending on, of course, a person's willingness to put in the hours and the time, depending on if you're a fleet driver or an owner operator. But I know in the dealership, there's lots of lucrative careers. Being a diesel technician, you can easily make six figures a year, and you are highly in demand in the industry right now. There's only a select number of tech colleges or vocational schools that are turning out technicians, and all of these dealer groups are fighting over those few. So
Wow.
you can write your own ticket almost.
So on that owner operator aspect, can you share some lesser known aspects of the industry? Like, how do you possibly would get into maybe having your own trucks? They say it's better to have more than one.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Um, I know, so being a service advisor first in this business, uh, I got firsthand knowledge of people who are very intent on getting their trucks back on the road because if that truck's not moving, they're not making money. And so, if you mess with their truck, you're messing with their livelihood, and you don't want to be that person. So I know that getting their loads and getting them delivered and being a safe driver, it all makes a difference. But yeah, I also know of a customer that we have that had a leasing operation, rental and leasing, and he had over 200 trucks and vans and very well off individual. He learned to do some of the repairs himself and gets a lot of his warranty work and buys parts from us. And he is looking to retire now, but very well off individual. um, I don't know if I could put any of numbers in front of the millions, but they're definitely millions.
All right.
So,
So see, all right. So you
yeah,
got a level that's you're home every day to versus to sky's the limit. That's
exactly.
great. So I'm going to circle back to the book. You guys, I mean, you're doing such a great job there, at Kenworth, and also your author. So, any other books in the future to look forward to? Yeah, I know you
Yeah.
mentioned other careers. Anything else
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, I've actually have 4 books complete now. I touched on the supply chain in general in my second book, where it's a child playing in the yard and sees there's a made in China sticker on her toy dump truck. And the father goes on to explain how it was made in a factory in China, went on a truck to the port, went on a ship and across the ocean, got to another port, went on another truck, and then went to a warehouse, So how many times a truck touches our merchandise, but it also kind of gives them of course, it's a brief overview of how that gets here from China. Then the third one is about being a diesel technician and a child wanting to follow in his dad's footsteps on working on big trucks and what he likes about it, and kind of turns into a game of looking for DOT safety violations on trucks on the road.
Nice, nice. The
And
big picture.
then
I like that.
right. And then the fourth is about selling parts, selling heavy duty truck parts. And I've got some, let's see, I can't off the top of my head remember 5 and 6, but I'm working on both of those simultaneously.
Wow.
And that'll wrap up, I think, I'm sorry, cold chain is one of them. So refrigerated trucks, trailers, and containers.
The food and
And yeah, food and frozen products and produce. And then I'm going to branch out into industries that I haven't been a part of, but I am looking to interview people I do know, and being electrician, plumbers, pipe fitters, HVAC, just anything that I can think of that is a good blue collar career that is going to be in demand for a long time.
wow. You're right. You're absolutely right. So where can I get these books?
Amazon, if you have Kindle or if you have the Kindle app, you can buy them in an ebook format. And then the first 3 books are now available in a single paperback, and you can have that. I can also get a copy and sign it and personalize it and send it off to individuals as well.
Oh, nice. Wow, very personal. I like that. So yeah, you were mentioned on TV, a TV show here locally. Um,
Yeah.
so I think you're making good strides, and we're very proud to have you on the show. like just as much as the community needs someone like you speaking out. I think that's huge. WCCO News. That was a great. I'll add that link here as well so that the people can see that too.
Thank you.
So yeah, just kind of wrap it up. That's the most that we can put together here for this episode. And that's delivered. Want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our guest, Kat Guerrero. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ray. I really appreciate it. And spread the word, spread the knowledge.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And then joining us today for sharing this inspiring work, Kat, your passion for the trucking industry and your dedication to education and the next generation is truly commendable. Now, for our listeners, I highly encourage you to check out Kat's book, Trucks Bring Everything, available on Amazon, Kindle format. And it's a fantastic way to introduce young children to the exciting and essential world of truck driving. By supporting this book, you're not only helping give to kids a great read so that they can learn and expand their horizon that way, but also you're helping bring awareness to those that are vital for career fields that help us in each and every day of our life. So thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to That's Delivered for more insights and stories in the world of trucking and logistics. Until next time, keep on trucking.
Are you a trucker looking for a safe and reliable place to park? Look no further than Truck Parking Club. With locations across the country, we've got the perfect spot waiting for you, whether it's daily or long-term parking. And right now, use promo code DELIVERED at checkout for an exclusive discount. Reserve your spot today at truckparkingclub.com and drive stress-free, knowing your parking is covered.